Shall we begin?
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am filming on a brand new camera that I got so luckily for my birthday. That was on the 8th of April. And I'm really excited. I think the quality is a lot better, so let me know what you think. And let's just jump straight into this Q&A. So I posted on Insta stories, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook I think maybe. I wanted you guys to send me in your questions because I get a lot of questions in the comments of these videos and a lot of them are similar, and so I wanted to just address them all in one Q&A video. So I had a lot of replies and I'm really excited to start answering them. So the first question I got asked is, what are the simplest recipes for someone who doesn't enjoy cooking? Now I absolutely love cooking. I get a lot of joy from cooking, and so I'm not really sure what to recommend for people who don't enjoy cooking. I suppose, I mean, they said they wanted simple recipes, which are pretty much all of my recipes are pretty simple. I would say the simplest recipe in terms of not having to do much is probably my dal recipe. It's very easy, it takes little effort, like almost like bordering on no effort at all, no skill. It's anyone can do it, and it's very, very cheap and doesn't require much, so you probably don't need to go out and buy products because you're likely going to have them in your kitchen or your pantry anyway. I would say my flan recipe is also equally as easy, and I love that at the end of the week because you can just chuck in kind of whatever leftovers you have in the fridge and it's going to taste amazing. So that is really great for when you don't have much in the kitchen. And then for something sweet, I would definitely say my pancake recipe, which only has 3 ingredients and it's so simple. You just whiz them all up, pop them in a pan. I have a recipe post on my blog for that, which I will link down below. The second question I got asked is, what do you do when family members don't respect your vegan choices? I am lucky enough to have a very supportive family. I went vegan, then my brother went vegan, and then my mum went vegan, and so we're all kind of in it together and support each other. But what I would say for people who don't have such a supportive family is just know that what you put inside of your own body is completely your own business and nobody else's. And that goes for what you support as well. So if you don't want to support the cruelty of the meat and dairy industry, who's to tell you that you should be doing that? The people who are likely to tell you that you should be supporting the meat and dairy industry are probably going to be older people, your parents or grandparents, and people who are very traditional because of where the meat and dairy industry has budded from. It's a misconception that it's healthy, but people in the post-war generation are still clinging on to those facts that they've been told by the meat and dairy industry to sell more products. So I think to educate them is one of the best things you can do. Let them know the reasons why you're vegan, because if they're not supportive, they probably don't know why you're doing it. And don't be defensive, have a very calm, collective and educational conversation about it, and just try and let them understand without being defensive. I would say one of the strongest things you could do as well is to lead by example. They'll see you thrive on a vegan diet and lifestyle, and if they love you and they're supportive of you, and if they're your family, they will love you and be supportive of you. They will want to see you do your best, be thriving, be happy, be energetic, be healthy, and they'll see that a vegan lifestyle will give you that, and they will support you in it. If you just lead by example, don't be defensive, just live a healthy, happy vegan life, and they can't complain. The third question is, what do you do if you have to join people at a restaurant that has no option for you? I would say it's important to let people know ahead of time that you're vegan if you know you're going to be in this kind of situation where you're all going to be eating together in a restaurant. And if they don't include you in their decision of which restaurant to go to, I would say, like, don't be around those kinds of people. I know there are some situations where you have to go anyway if it's a business meeting or something to do with work, maybe it's a Christmas party, and they happen to not included you in their decision. It's very unfortunate, but sometimes that does happen. It's happened to me before. I would say speak to the waitress, ask them to talk to the chef and ask them what they can do to accommodate you as a vegan. Every restaurant will have an option for you, whether it's on the menu or if it's going to be something that the chef can just make up for you, because they are going to have vegetables in the bag. People don't just go and eat a lump of meat in a restaurant and that's it. They will have vegetables and salads and potatoes, and that you will have an option. So just talk to the chef and see what they can whip up for you. I would say 9 times out of 10 the place is going to be more than happy to accommodate you. Question number 4 is, what do you do if someone asks you to dinner at their home and they haven't made anything you can eat? How do you avoid being rude? First of all, if they're inviting you to their house for food, the conversation of you being vegan has probably already been had. So if you turn up and they haven't provided food that you can eat, I don't know what sort of person would do that, and you're not the rude one for not eating the animals. They're rude for inviting you around for food and not accommodating you. I would perhaps just remind them that you're vegan and ask them if they have anything that they can whip up for you quickly, or I would say that you're not going to eat that food, and maybe suggest that you go out to eat instead. If it's a party situation, I think that is quite a common tension, and it's quite a common problem for there not to be much vegan food out at a party because the person has forgotten, or they just don't care that they've invited someone who's vegan. As a general rule, the people who are going to do that, I'm probably not going to remain good friends with them. If they are inviting you around for a meal, they know you're vegan and they haven't accommodated for it, those aren't good friends. But if you're already in that situation, I would suggest eating a little bit beforehand so you're not ravenous, and that way if there is vegan food there, great, you can pick at it, and if there isn't, it's okay, you've already eaten anyway. I would also suggest, if it is a party situation, it's always a good idea to bring something to contribute, to share with everyone. And then you can bring vegan food and then you can just eat that. So it's not a problem if they don't have something for you to eat there anyway. Plus, that is a great opportunity for you to be able to take some really yummy vegan food and share it with everyone, and show them how delicious it can be to be vegan and eat vegan food. But if someone has just invited you round to their house, it's just you or just a couple of people, and they have just laid out just meat and dairy, you are not the rude one in that situation, so never fear being rude by not eating animals. Question number 5 is, what do you think of LUSH products and ingredients and packaging and their recycling program? Do you use it? Is it a good option rather than making DIY products? I used to love LUSH products. I would say they were like my gateway into more organic-ish homemade products without making my own homemade products first. But then after realizing that I can just make those products at home anyway, I started realizing that they were adding bulking agents and perfumes and preservatives that I just prefer not to have in my skincare. And then I started realizing when I did make my own products that they are way overpriced in LUSH, really expensive compared to the ingredients that they use in their products. But if you don't want to be making your own products, you are paying for the convenience of having it pre-made and packaged and in a store for you. And so if you like LUSH, I mean, I don't have an innate problem with them. As for the recycling program, I think you're referring to their 5-pot program, which is when you've bought 5 products and you use up the pots, instead of throwing them away or recycling them yourself, you can take them back into store, and when you give them 5, they will give you a free face mask. I think it's a great way to encourage people to recycle their packaging, and not only send it to a recycling plant, but send it back to where it came from, so that the company itself can just reuse the pots over and over again. I think that is a great recycling/upcycling program, and I used to use it a lot. Because LUSH isn't completely vegan, and their packaging is still plastic a lot of the time, I tend to opt for other products if I'm going to buy them and not make them at home myself. I love the Soap Nuts website called Living Naturally. I will link it down below, along with a site called Bubbaloo, which is aimed at mothers and babies, I think, but they do have some really great products that are also good for sensitive skin. Question number 6 is, do you make your own self-care and household product? I do make a lot of my own products like toothpaste and mouthwash, which I have made a recipe video for, which I will link up here. I also make my own deodorant and window and glass cleaner and D-lime scaler for the kettle, which also is great for stainless steel and shining it right up. And I am looking into making my own face wash at the moment because I've just run out and I don't really want to repurchase one. So I am currently looking and experimenting with a face cleanser. If you know of any good face cleanser recipes, please do let me know in the comments below. Question number 7 is, are there things people tend to think are vegan but aren't? Yes, I think if you are just starting out being vegan, there are a lot of things that you may be surprised that aren't vegan. It's not as easy as just not buying meat in a package and dairy in a package. Meat and dairy are government subsidized very heavily, and so they put them in as many products secretly and hidden as they can. Things that don't need it, like crisps. Things that, I don't mean the ones that are like meat flavored, like bacon crisps. Generally those are actually vegan, but some brands of crisps, I think like Sensations, they do have milk powder in them, which is absurd. Also, honey is not vegan. The bees that make the honey are exploited and tortured, and it is not vegan. Wool is also not vegan, and a lot of clothing will have some sort of percentage of wool in it, and that means that clothing is not vegan. It is as not vegan as leather and fur. The new £5 notes in England are also not vegan. I know a lot of vegan restaurants and shops will not accept them. Zoos are also not vegan. The animals there, which you are paying the zoo to keep, are being captured from the wild, held there, tortured, and it is a horrible and depressing place for them to be. Do not pay to go and visit a zoo. And also a lot of sweets and pastries are not vegan. So squidgy, like gelatinous sweets tend to have gelatin in them. That's what gives them those texture. There are some that don't, but most of the time, if they're those kind of squidgy Haribo kind of things, they are made of off-cuttings and hoofs and gross parts of animals that they boil up and just make into sweets with flavorings and colorings. And a lot of pastries have butter, egg and milk in them, so a lot of the time they're not vegan either. Those are just the things that are off the top of my head. I know there are a lot, so I would always recommend checking the label if you're not buying single ingredient food, and just making sure that there's no ingredients that are animals or animal byproduct in them. Question number 8 is your cat vegan, and how does that work? So I have a cat, which you would have seen cameoed in some of my previous videos, and she is not vegan. Cats are not designed to be vegan. Their intestines and their jaw and their teeth, you can just see they need to eat meat to survive, and lots of cats have become sick from eating a plant-based diet. I know that a lot of dogs can eat a vegan diet. As omnivores, they can thrive off any diet, but cats do need to eat meat to be healthy and to survive a long life. So I know this is quite a controversial topic for a lot of vegans, and ideally for me, in the perfect world, we would not capture and breed and sell animals as commodities, and we would not own animals. I do not like to think of myself as an animal owner, because she has her own being. I happen to house her and feed her. In a perfect world, we would just all inhabit the planet and live equally, but unfortunately that is not the society we live in, and so in current society I think it is important to rescue animals, and so I have rescued my cat from a shelter, and that means feeding my cat meat, which means purchasing cat food that contains meat. I believe this to be the lesser of two evils. I do not like to see animals suffering, and so I would promote rescuing animals from shelters, spading them, neutering them, making sure that they're not breeding anymore, because we need to have far fewer animals needing rescued. Do not buy from a shop. If you want an animal, always rescue. So for me, feeding my cat animal products is currently the lesser of two evils. It's not a perfect world, it's not a perfect situation, but that is what I am doing. Question number 9 is your significant other vegan? So some of you might know, if you follow me on Twitter and Snapchat and Instagram, that I have a boyfriend who I live with, and he is not vegan. We have been together for coming up to almost 4 years now, and he is incredibly supportive. He currently only eats vegan food, so when we're together we will eat vegan food. When he's out, he tells me he eats vegan food. We both cook vegan food and only have vegan food in the house or in our part of the house. We also share with another couple, and they are both carnists, but our part of the pantry and the fridge and the kitchen is all vegan food. I sincerely hope that one day, whatever that hesitation is inside of him that's stopping him from just taking the leap and going plant-based or vegan, I hope that it resurfaces so he can confront it and live a healthier, happier, vegan, ethical lifestyle with or without me. I hope that happens for him one day. Currently it hasn't, but we'll see. Question number 10 is, are you mostly supported in your lifestyle? I would say me personally, yes I am, because my brother and my mom are both vegan and we're very close and we share a lot of recipes and a lot of nutritional information, and so I have my little vegan hub there that's very close. And like I said, my partner is very supportive of my diet and my lifestyle, and he actually takes me out to like completely vegan restaurants, and if we go on holiday he'll like scout out what are the best vegan restaurants nearby, and he gets very excited by it. So I am very supported in my close-knit friends and family. Question number 11 is, have you always been vegan? How did it come about? So when I was born, I was raised vegetarian with my brother, but my mom was never puritanical about it. When I went to school, I discovered sausages, which is one of her favorite stories to tell about me. I went and ate school dinners which had meat in them, and I would come home talking about it, and my mom would talk to me about what that meant and how this pig in this storybook, that is who they kill and they chop up and they turn into sausages, and that's what it is. And she gave me the free choice to continue eating it if I wanted to, but she educated me. And I think that she told me that I continue eating it for a while, and then as I got older and I could understand the concept of that food being that animal, I stopped eating it and I was vegetarian. And then we moved to California when I was 8 years old until when I was 13, so that was a 5-year span. And when I lived there I ate meat, and then we came back to the UK and I decided to become vegetarian again. And then after university in 2012 I decided that I wanted to become vegan, or I decided that I was going to try veganism for the month of January. This was before Veganuary, although I coined it Veganuary and started a Facebook group with my mum and brother calling it Veganuary, and then 3 years later Veganuary like became a thing with someone else. So technically I started Veganuary, but that is another story. So I realized the hypocrisy of living a vegetarian lifestyle. I would say that I cared for animals and I didn't want to hurt them, and I didn't want to pay for somebody else to hurt them, and yet I was eating dairy, which is by far the cruelest industry of them all. It is crueler than the meat industry, which I didn't know at the time, but I was discovering. And I was wearing leather and buying makeup tested on animals, and I just couldn't live with that inside of me. I wasn't peaceful with it, and so I decided to try being vegan for a month in January in 2012, and I realized that it was way easier than I had expected. I thought it was going to be this hurdle that I was going to have to go over, and I'd probably just try it for a month and go back to being vegetarian, but it was so easy and so much fun, and my eyes were being opened up to this whole new world that I was just in love with, that I just never looked back. So question number 12 is, do you ever have to get super creative or innovative to maintain your lifestyle? So I'm not sure which aspect of my lifestyle you're referring to, whether it's veganism or zero waste, or wellness, or minimalism, but I would say that all of those are part of my lifestyle because of who I am, and those things resonate with me and are easy for me because of who I am anyway. And so for me it's not it's not that much of an effort. I think that I have a creative soul naturally, and so cooking and making recipes is just easy and fun. Although it's creative and innovative, it's not an effort for me. But I suppose cooking and making my own products and living more mindfully and minimally and researching ethical companies to shop at, yeah, I would say that that is a very creative lifestyle, but I don't feel that it's forced. In fact, it feels incredibly natural to me. As a side note though, I don't think you have to be a creative person at all to live any of those lifestyles. There are so many products out there. There are so many vegan substitutes, ready meals, easy recipes, ethical and eco and sustainable products that you can use that are already made by creative people and entrepreneurs who are putting those products on the shelves for people who don't have the time or don't want to make it themselves. And so it's not, you don't have to be creative to live any of those lifestyles, but for me, I am a creative person, and so I like to do it myself. The last question, question number 13, is where do you purchase sustainable and eco-friendly underwear? So when I decluttered my wardrobe and decided that I'm only going to buy sustainable, eco-friendly products and clothing from now on, I haven't had to repurchase my underwear since decluttering and making that decision. I didn't want to throw them all away and repurchase eco-friendly products and underwear, because that wouldn't be eco-friendly to throw out products that are perfectly fine and then ship in new products just because they're eco-friendly. When my current underwear gets holes in them or become threadbare or whatever it is, whatever reason I throw them out, I will restock with more ethical choices. I will do my research and find ethical, sustainable, eco-friendly and vegan brands and products, and I will buy them from there. I haven't had to do that yet because, like I said, I still have underwear that is in good shape. So I hope that helps. So those are all of the questions for my first Q&A. I hope I answered a lot of your guys' questions, and that was really fun. I would like to do one of these again. So let me know if you enjoyed, and give this video a thumbs up if you like this kind of video, and I will definitely do it again. And I am also loving this new camera, so let me know what you think of the quality of the camera. Ooh, sorry. And don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. I post videos every week, and with my brand new camera I am wanting to up my game on YouTube and post more videos a week. So currently I'm posting every Sunday, which I'd like to continue doing, but I'm also thinking of maybe posting on Wednesdays or Thursdays. Let me know which day of the week you guys would prefer and what kind of videos you'd like to see, because I'm going to be posting a lot more, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!